It's not too often that I do voiceovers on my videos, but today was quite the stinky day. My drain pipes are clogged at the house, and I needed to get a snake from the local Home Depot to try to clean them out. What I'm doing right here is I'm putting on different cutting teeth in hopes that the tooth I choose will help empty the pipe or free it from its current clog. The drain snake that I decided to use was 50 foot and was fairly inexpensive, and all I had to do was screw on the little cutting edge and just start threading out the wire. And right behind that snake is a pipe. It's a ventilation pipe. It vents gas out of the house. That's way like bubbles don't come out of your toilet and you smell, methane or whatever in your house. So what I'm doing is I'm shoving this metal wire down that. I've got to spin it. The wire spins in the pipe. Generally, the idea is when it comes to a curve, you rotate it and the wire can push past through the curves. Then once you hit the clog, as you rotate it, the long wire is actually like a really long spring, just really compact. So as you're spinning it, you're creating tension, and then as it gets down to the end, it binds up and then spins real quick, and then goes back to hopefully freeing the clog. What I just did there is I went downstairs. I've got a basin in the garage, which is the first thing that gets backfed from water, or backfed with water when the drain gets plugged. And what I did was I went down there and checked to see if it had emptied out. It didn't at that point in time, so I was continuing to try to free the line. And then I assumed, okay, it must be good. I'm feeding it back into the snake. And at that point in time, I do believe I'm under the impression that the drain is clean. Which, I was ecstatic. I was like, yes, this was a 5-minute long job. And my day is done. I'm getting ready to get on my bicycle, and I am heading to Clearwater Beach. And that was my plan. I was definitely excited. And here, what you can see is where I took that little second break and all that. My hands are getting a little bit tired. The gloves are getting wet. And so trying to wheel that wire back inside that tube was a little bit of a pain in the butt. And now I'm taking everything apart. And still, in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm on my way to a bike ride. Take this thing back, get my deposit back, and that's it. I'm good to go. That wasn't the case. When I go back downstairs, see, the sink was still full of water. It was refilling with water because I had it running with hot water. Went to Home Depot, got a bigger snake, slapped that thing up on the roof, and went to town. There it is, me getting up there. This thing's 75 feet, and it's electric, and that way it can spin itself while I'm feeding it. And it's in hopes that I can, get the drain unclogged quite a bit faster. And I put my gloves on. I had my gloves on the first snake too. One, you don't know how well they clean these things when you rent them, and you don't want to be touching, people's goop and all that stuff. It could be gross. You never know. Just better to stay clean. And actually, while I put the little cutting head on again, and I start feeding it out, and right about there, like some hair or whatever dropped onto the roof. It was really disgusting. Obviously, I had no choice but to continue what I was doing. There was no way I could stop. I needed to make sure my pipes got unclogged, and just continued on. This one wasn't nearly as tough to use. One, because it spins by itself, see me standing there while it's moving, and just I figured I was at the clog, and it was going to break it free, and just keep pushing it down and push all the way to the end as far as it could go, and just hope that I totally destroy the clog and my pipes run free and clear again. It did get bound up in a couple of spots. I'm sure those were just been where maybe they had seamed pipes together. I don't know. But at those spots, I did just let the cutting piece, spin around. And it's not actually like a sharp edge or anything. The cutting edge that I stuck on here was a spring that's kind of coiled up, and it's got a bulbous end to it. And that way it can hopefully help break the clog free. At this point, it's getting hot. It is in the middle of the afternoon. I started at 1 o'clock. I was hoping to be done by 1:30. At this point in time, it's probably pushing closer to 3 o'clock. Yeah, probably closer to 3 o'clock about then. And, I continuously try to do it. And what you didn't see in the first half of this was that I had pulled the snake. After I had taken the snake down, checked, saw my sink was still plugged up, I brought the snake back up onto the roof, re-ran it down a few times as far as it could go, pushed it in and out. I changed different cutting heads. I did a spring one with teeth on it, one that was kind of just like a horseshoe shape. None of those did the trick, and I was just like, okay, the clog must just be that, too far. And here it is. I went and checked the sink, and it was still plugged up, so I flicked off the machine because I was not happy with it. Now I'm videotaping bringing it down because, again, this son of a bitch, pardon my French, is so heavy at this point. Getting it up, I carried it right up the ladder, no problem. But feeding the line out and keeping it from tangling itself up, and then pulling the line back in. When the gloves get wet, and I had gloves with rubber grips on it, and they were not gripping once they were soaking wet. And I do believe I cut this off a little bit early. I'm not 100% sure. No, I think I let it go. I was exhausted. You can't really tell. My shirt is sopping wet at this point. This thing is heavy. I'm trying to figure out, okay, how the hell am I going to get this in without breaking it? I want my money back. I want my deposit back anyways. In the car, I've got some ratchet straps. I get one of those out, and for safety purposes, I strap it to the top of the ladder. That way, when I start carrying this thing down, if I slip, if my arms reach complete exhaustion, I just figure for safety purposes, if it's at least tied to something, it can't fall all the way to the ground and land on me if I'm on the ground laying down. So I just figured, I better be safe than sorry. I probably should have worn some shoes instead of flip-flops. You never know, but I am in Florida, and flip-flops are our everyday attire. So here's this heavy thing, and I have no clue how much this thing weighs. It's not as heavy as the kegs at work, but it is gross. That whole wire is potentially full of feces, and I'm touching it all over. I could not wait to get in the shower after dropping that damn thing off. And as you can tell, it's latched to the ladder. I'm not really supporting it at all. At the point I must have grabbed it, and I loosened the strap, gave myself some slack, climbed down a little bit. I moved the... I'm hot. I was just wiping sweat. I moved the snake down, give myself some more slack, and I think I just get it down one more step, and then I'm able to get it off. Or actually, did I get it? Yeah. Move down. There we go. Got it on that step. Kind of got it snug. Unhook it because I'm at ground level, and it's at a perfect height where I can just get it, set it on the ground, and take it to the Home Depot. And that was my horrible day. Real fast.